Hey, welcome back to the Deep Dive in 5 podcast presented by Christ Church of Flagstaff. My name is Wes. I'm the student and college pastor around here. So glad you're with us. And hey, if you're just stumbling on this content, this is day 19. Go back to day 1. Start getting through some of those because there's some foundational building blocks we definitely want you to hit. Now, my wife and I had a very interesting January 2021 experience. We thought that 2020 was behind us, and then we were exposed to somebody who tested positive for COVID. We had been really careful. My wife's like 8 months pregnant, and so we had been taking extra precautions, and we both got sick. To make it worse, my toddler, my 2-year-old daughter, she did not get sick, and so we were in quarantine for 2 weeks, and then her quarantine started when ours ended. And so we were at home with a toddler for a month. And we had an incredible group of people that were coming around and bringing us food and trying to support us the best we were while we were trapped inside trying to survive. And, the funny thing was between the food people brought and like Target pickup, all of our physical needs were like provided for, but we just had within the first week this very real sense of something else that we were hungry for. Like we knew that we had what we need, that we were going to be able to survive and make it, but we were just finding ourselves like spending a little extra time on the phone or staying up a little too late watching a show or 6 episodes. And the truth is, we thought we were hungry for phone or distraction or TV because it was just a difficult circumstance. The reality was we were hungry for connection, both with people and with God. Today we're talking about fasting, and we're talking about the things that we are hungry for. A few weeks ago, Chris Reed, our senior pastor, he talked about fasting and told the story of Jesus and the way he fasted in the desert for 40 days. And I love the line that ends that story, that man does not survive on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. I love that idea because the truth is, you and I are not just physical bodies. We are integrated physical bodies with spiritual souls, right? We are this unique meddling. And when I talk to a lot of people about fasting, I think they have a lot of preconceived notions. One of which is, that's an ancient practice that should be reserved for monks and monasteries. Other people have only really heard of it for health reasons, like intermittent fasting or something like that. And a lot of people wonder, like, hey, why do we do fasting? It's not to lose weight. It's not to punish our bodies. It's not to prove that we're worthy or that we can sacrifice enough for God. The reality is, fasting is tricky because it's the intersection of physical practice and spiritual connectedness. It's hard for us to grasp because the spiritual part is unseen, but just as much as you are physical and spiritual, so is fasting, and it works on both planes. As you abstain from food or, anything for that matter, but usually food, you're making space for God to move and work and speak that you didn't have before. You're abstaining from something physical in order to make room for attention to the spiritual. It's like cultivating a different hunger. When I fast, that's what I like to think of as the hunger pains inside my stomach beg me to stop at McDonald's or Tacos Los Altos. I remember, and I even developed this little mantra, like, what I'm really hungry for is you. Jesus, what I'm really hungry for is you. See, fasting, it helps us integrate the physical and the spiritual. Fasting is not about proving our worth to God. Fasting is developing connection with and relationship with God.